Today there are a lot of important updates from the Russian Federation. Here, Russian oil refineries are going up in flames as Ukraine unleashes relentless waves of drone strikes deep into enemy territory. With 10% of Russia's refining capacity already offline and more targets in sight, these attacks are beginning to cripple the Russian economy. The most significant Ukrainian strike took place in Crimea, where Ukrainians launched over 100 drones against Russian military airfields and air defense systems. To wear out Russian air defenses, Ukrainians deployed decoy drones, overloading Russian crews with targets and allowing the real drones to slip through. Then the Ukrainians destroyed a Russian Pantsir-S1 air defense system and Podlyot-K1 radar, creating a gap wide enough for the Ukrainians to devastate Russian military airfields. Ukrainians also deployed naval drones equipped with anti-air missiles and FPV drones to strike targets along the coast and deny Russian aviation the ability to fly over the Black Sea to intercept the incoming strikes. Russians use helicopters and jets to help track and take down Ukrainian drones. With these airfields heavily bombed and Russians unable to use their aviation, Russian air defense was weakened, especially over the Black Sea and Sea of Azov, where Russian helicopters are most often deployed. This enabled the Ukrainians to launch additional drone strikes towards the Russian oil refineries located in the Krasnodar region and southern Rostov region, flying over the Crimean peninsula and surrounding seas with close to 80 long-range strike drones. In Tuapse, civilian reports mentioned hearing over 40 explosions near the seaport and oil refinery in the city. Over the past weeks, Ukrainians have launched several more devastating drone strikes on Russian oil refineries and supporting infrastructure. Notably, Ukrainians hit a major oil refinery and depot in Krasnodar Krai, right under the nose of the main base of the Russian 90th Air Defense Brigade, even destroying several air defense systems during the strike. In the Volgograd region, Ukrainians struck the main oil refinery, which refines over 14 million tons of oil per year, several times over the course of many days, along with the Astrakhan gas processing plant in the area. Ukrainians launched strikes far beyond the Volgograd Oblast, striking the Saratov oil refinery, which processes over 7 million tons of oil annually. After Saratov, the Ukrainians struck the Ilsky oil refinery to the south, with a capacity of over 6 million tons of oil annually, and the Serzan oil refinery near Samara with a capacity of almost 9 million tons of oil. Ukrainians also targeted the Ozlovsky oil refinery in Tula, along with the massive oil storage facilities there. Lastly, Ukrainians conducted a final strike on the Ryazin oil refinery, one of the largest in Russia, processing over 17 million tons of oil annually for the third time this year, causing the plant to once again halt its operations. The targeted Russian oil refineries produce a combined 53 million tons of oil annually, dealing a significant blow to the Russian economy, which is largely dependent on oil and gas exports. On top of that, the Ukrainians also targeted Russian pumping stations, striking 2 pumps in Chertkovo and disabling the entire facility at Krasnodar. These facilities are a critical component of the Russian oil refining infrastructure, pumping the necessary oil to refineries that process it. Taking out the oil pumping stations will starve the still operational refineries of oil to refine, while also heavily disrupting Russian exports. Overall, since the start of Ukraine's massive drone strike campaign targeting Russian oil refinery capabilities and infrastructure, Ukraine has taken over 10% of Russia's oil industry offline, as Ukrainians are effectively outpacing the Russian ability to repair the damages. Recent strikes on refineries in the Volgograd and Krasnodar regions alone reduced Russian oil production by over 5%. Ukraine's success relies on mass drone production, with swarms of drones repeatedly bypassing Russian air defenses to hit major refineries like Ryazan several times over. If Ukrainian strikes continue at this pace, Ukraine could disable up to 20% of Russia's oil industry in the coming months, dealing a severe blow to the Russian economy. Lastly, we are officially launching our very first spring sale. This is the best chance to support our independent Ukrainian reporting while getting a huge 40% discount on your subscription. As you know, this sale comes at a very difficult time for Ukraine. That is why right now, your support is more important than ever. By subscribing, you will not only support our efforts, but also gain access to our exclusive insights, comprehensive overviews of all fronts, and strategic geopolitics videos. If you wanted to support our efforts but never got a chance, now is the perfect moment to make a difference. So check out the link in the description to join our cause and become an exclusive member of our community. I truly appreciate everyone who stepped up to join us. Your support means the world to us.